This ceasefire in Gaza is falling apart quicker than a fucking maklube is cooked in Palestine. Honest to God. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tal the Traveling Clat, your favorite Zionizing, white colonizing Zionizer. I'm your favorite. Get the merch down below in the description at thetravelingclat.com. Let's get right into this clip from Amir Avivi. If you don't know, Amir Avivi was on our show a few weeks ago during the day of the ceasefire. He had a very optimistic outlook. I love Amir Avivi. I gained so much value from this man. If you don't follow him at the Israel Defense and Security Forum already, you must go subscribe right now and support them in their cause, IDSF. They've been immensely helpful to me and my work, so please go subscribe to them now before anything else. Link will be in the description, and let's get right into this.
This briefing brought to you by the Israel Defense and Security Forum, IDSF. The war continues. We continue to discuss, to analyze, and to share with you the truth. It's a great pleasure to be joined today by Brigadier General Amir Avivi, the founder and chairman of IDSF. General, thank you so much for joining again today.
A pleasure.
Let's just jump right in. There's always something happening in Gaza. What can you share with us right now?
So at the moment, we're in a twilight zone. You know, things seem a bit stuck, not going anywhere. Hamas is still holding 13 of our hostages who are not alive and hasn't released any hostages in the last days, although they know exactly where they are, probably most of them, if not all of them, and they're not releasing hostages. Also, you know, there was a whole train of people, you know, coming from the States, the Vice President, Marco Rubio, and really trying to get a sense of what's going on here, understand what's going on with, you know, moving this agreement forward. I think it was very important when they came that they also got briefings from the IDF, really going in depth into the intelligence and what really is going on in Gaza. And what is happening is that Hamas is breaching the agreement from day one. They were supposed to give us all the hostages in the first 72 hours. Didn't happen because those who are alive, but not those who are not alive. And Hamas at this stage is supposed to be disarming. They're not disarming. They are regrouping. They are recruiting. They are renewing capabilities. And Israel saying to the U.S., okay, you want to solve this diplomatically. You want to, I don't know, push Qatar or Turkey to make sure that Hamas dismantles. We'll give it a short period of time to see that this happens. But realistically speaking, I don't see Hamas laying down their weapons without Israel enforcing this militarily. So Israel understands that at the moment we need to give a chance to this emerging coalition to deal with this, and also the chief of staff has requested for a very long time a short break, you know, to really take care of the tanks and APCs. And I mean, we have been fighting for 2 years. And we need to work on the equipment and give the soldiers a bit of time to organize. But I think that in the coming weeks, we'll have to go back to eventually to fight and really finish the job in Gaza and dismantle Hamas. One thing I can say for sure, Israel is not going to agree to a reality where Hamas stays in Gaza, and they are not voluntarily willing to disarm and leave Gaza. And we'll have to enforce this one way or another. Question is when? How long are we going to wait? When is President Trump going to realize that they are mocking him, that they are not serious, that they are not adhering to the agreement? I mean, you know, in the American mentality, you signed an agreement. That's it. You know, we're going to execute the agreement. But this is a different culture of deceit. You know, they're deceiving the U.S. and Israel, and we need to be alert and find ourselves at the right moment to really execute the plans and go in and finish the job and destroy Hamas.
General, do you think there are any additional pressure points to compel Hamas to lay down their weapons outside of Gaza, outside of the IDF, just fully going in? Meaning, is there anything still to be done with Qatar or Turkey diplomatically that can bring about further pressure on Hamas?
So this was the idea. The idea was that Turkey and Qatar will solve for Hamas the question of where do they go? And if they lay down the weapons that they get out of Gaza, where can they go? And the Turks and Qataris assure them, they'll take care of them. But I believe that what we're seeing now is a Turkish, Qatari, Hamas attempt to dissolve the agreement, to base, the reality where President Trump said, the war is over, try to create a reality where as the ceasefire continues, there will be no more motivation to go back to war. And every day that we're not operating, seems theoretically like it is going to be harder to go back and fight. And this is what they're counting on. Is it realistic, what they're saying? I don't know. We'll see. I think that there is a resolution to destroy Hamas as a governmental and military entity. Israel is not going to have a reality where they stay. But as I said, we're in a very peculiar moment where things are not happening the way they're supposed to. And the question is, what's the time frame? How long are we going to wait until we change course and go back to dismantle Hamas militarily? I will be very happy and surprised to see diplomacy working here and Hamas dismantling without the IDF needing to go in. It will be a nice surprise, but I wouldn't count on it too much. I think we'll have to deal with this. And we have to remember that as Hamas is regrouping, they're also planning attacks on the IDF along the yellow line. We already foiled one attack, and we had another one that was executed with 2 soldiers killed. It's not a good situation. It's dangerous. So on one hand, yes, we're controlling half of Gaza, and we're inside, and our towns are, we can defend them. On the other hand, every day that we don't take care of that, Hamas is getting stronger. It's a problem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Amir Avivi, when he came on my YouTube channel, he was I think he was very optimistic. He still seems to be very optimistic. I even told him there, I was like, how do you manage to remain so optimistic during what seems like just a facade of a ceasefire, like something that clearly is not going to hold? And it's just it's a difference of opinion. It's a difference of how we see the world. And obviously I respect what Amir says so much. I still hold such a pessimistic viewpoint that once the process of this ceasefire started, it's going to be way harder to unwind it. And I think that the call of war, both for the Israeli public, for the Palestinian public, for global citizens who put a lot of pressure on Israel and its government to stop this war, is just going to mount to a point where Trump really can't fight against the mob. Like the mob rules at the end of the day. The mob makes the rule, and the mob is saying, we don't want a war in Gaza. And that puts us in a position where we're kind of stuck. Like, I don't think that we're going to successfully be able to override Hamas and kick them out of the strip. Not in this fight. It may have to happen in the future, but I don't think it's going to happen right now, unfortunately. I don't see a way where it actually gets done. I don't think the Israeli public wants to go back to war. I think many people don't want to live with Hamas, but I'm not sure that the Israeli public wants to go back to war. And I don't really know where we go from here unless we get a resounding message from Donald Trump that says, go back to war, my children, go back and finish this. I don't know if we actually do it. I really don't. That being said, there's still another almost 20 plus minutes of this analysis from Amir Avivi, and I highly recommend you go watch the full thing on the IDSF YouTube channel. I also recommend that you come back to my YouTube channel and go see what we did the day of the ceasefire, because it was an incredible 25-minute interview I did with him, and it did very well, and it's like over 200,000 views. I highly suggest people watch that video. It's really great. So I don't know. I have a hard time being optimistic, especially when you see what Hamas has been up to with the whole hiding of the bodies, taking them out, delivering deceased bodies in pieces. They're violating the ceasefire in every conceivable way, killing 2 of our soldiers during the ceasefire. I just can't see this happening. I do see it devolving further. I just don't know if I see it devolving fully back into a war. I think there may be skirmishes and then packing up again and continuing diplomacy, which is not going to work with them. It's not going to work with them. It's a pipe dream. It really is. But that's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. Please support the channel. Become a Zionizer, white colonizer like me. I'll see you then. I love you a long time. Goodbye, Clydes.
Have you struggled with repping your Zionism in style? Well, boy, do I have a solution for you. Head to thetravelingclad.com and become a sweet Zionist prince or princess today. Or maybe even let the world know you're a white colonizer with matching hat. Tell the comment section you were thrown out of 109 countries by joining the 109 Club with a matching hat. They say it was promised to you 2,000 years ago? Double down and grab a shirt that was promised to you 3,000 years ago with a matching hat. Ever dreamed of Zionizing like me? Do it with a matching hat, damn it! Show off your Iraqi pride by being someone's back daddy, or showing them you were made in Iraq with a matching hat. It's time to laugh in the face of those who attack us, wear their hate with pride, and you become untouchable. TheTravelingClad.com. We got mugs, stickers, shirts, hoodies, and so much more. Go grab yourself something nice, Habibis and Habibtis. You deserve it. If you don't want to buy any merchandise, the best way to support me is by donating on Buy Me a Coffee, my PayPal, or becoming a member on my Patreon. Your support is very much needed and very much appreciated. Thank you.